All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh,
Yahawah,
Hashem,
Bahashem, Yahawashah, Bahashem, Wakakadash.
double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation and much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word in truth and sincerity. And we just want to do another open forum, so to say. Um, just we're gonna go into the times that we're in, and all the the prophecies that are coming to pass. All right, before everybody's eyes. All right, because hey, the prophecies are speaking loud and clear. All right, and those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, they're spiritually and mentally preparing themselves for the tribulation that's about to occur on the planet Earth, which is going to be the time of Jacob's trouble. All right, so if the brother want to go ahead and grab that, have a cool.
Now, so Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3. But the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie.
And that's the time we're living in, man. Yeah, because what the vision, all right, the visions that we read about, all the prophecies, all right, all the visions that the prophets had received, well, they were for appointed time, all right, because some visions, they came to pass, um, in their lifetime, some of the visions of the prophets, and then some of the other visions, all right, were for the end, okay, and now that we're at the end of this thing, now they're beginning to speak or being established, so to say. All right, because you go on one of the words, the word the bar in the Hebrew is to speak or to publish. All right, and that's what's going on right now. All right, what the Lord is doing, he's through his servants, the prophets. All right, he's making these things come to light. All right, because what everything there's like Elder Ariala likes to say, you can speak things into existence, and that's what, even though it's been written before time, now the Lord got his prophets out there proclaiming and prophesying. All right, giving the people warning of the things that are to come. So now it's literally happening. All right, the things that we've been beginning with our elder apostles on down. Like they always say, we sound like a broken record, and people think we're crazy, and oh, y'all been saying that for years. Well, now you can't really say that because it's happening. All right, you got wars, the rumors of wars, all the things that the Lord said will be happening in the last days, so that we could use as a measuring stick to know that He was about to return. All right, and that like they say, the apocalypse. People in the world like to say, oh, the apocalypse is gonna happen. Well, whatever. Well, now you've been saying that. Well, now we've been telling you about it. Well, now it's happening. All right, and now it's getting realer and realer, and people just want to turn a blind eye to it. Because people are still gonna continue to live in their folly. Just like in the days of Noah. All right, right up until the end, until they get smacked in the face with reality. Keep going on that.
Uh, Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry.
That's right, man. So though it tarry, wait for it shall surely come. Because what when you first come into this truth, you hoping that this is gonna be the year. All right, this is it right here, man. But what so it's tarry because it's not on our time. It's on the Yahweh Shai's time, according to how he has set up the things. All right, how he has set up the timeline, so to say. But what it's surely gonna come. All right, it's not some. Hey, the Lord is not a man that he shall lie. So, right, whatever he says is gonna happen. Guess what? That's what's gonna happen. No ifs, ands, buts about it. All right. Let me get this real quick. This is Ezekiel 33 and 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. All right, and it, since now the words that we've been speaking, which are really Yahweh Shai Shai's words, now they're coming to pass, and then people still having a hard time believing it. But what when these things start to really happen, all right, which is really it's already happening, all right. Second Ezra 15, all right, second Ezra 16. These things have already begun. It just hasn't gone on onto a global scale yet. But when these things hit home to these Americans, that's when they're gonna realize that a prophet had been among them. All right, we weren't just some crazy guys. All right, with bed sheets with holes in them on the corner screaming at people, man. They're gonna realize, well, you know what, those men they were right. They were really prophets. They weren't lying. right? And that, but that's that's going to be the best I told you so, man. Because it's you got to get yourself right before this shit hits the fan, so to say. Because then it's gonna be too late. You can ain't the doors to repentance are gonna be closed, sealed up. Go ahead. What we got? Some.
I got a quick article. RT News. It says attack Iran to get reelected. Twitter discovers Trump warned of Iran conflict plot, but Obama's. All right. So pretty much what this article is about. All right. It was tweets that Donald Trump was making post, before he got inaugurated during Obama's term, and he was some of the tweets he tweeted was in order to get elected, Barack Obama will start war with Iran. All right, it says another tweet from Donald Trump, November 14, 2011. Barack Obama will attack Iran not to distant future because it will help him win the election. All right, so pretty much what we see is, prior before, this happening, Trump was saying, that Obama would, attack Iran. But, here it is. Now we in the end times, as, we all know, Iran was that last country, that they had on the books and the plans to invade, man. All right, so here it is. We can clearly see that no matter what president is in, like they were saying, it's the same formula they use to attack Iraq. Weapons of mass destruction. All right, demonize them. They use the same formula, which goes to show you that that it's the elites, man. Behind this, man. The elites, this elites, so-called Illuminati, man, on the left-hand side. All right, that's pulling the strings. It will show you that you really have no control. All right, of voting, man. It's a certain percentage of people that runs this country. And I'm gonna get a quick precept real quick before I go into this article. It's Psalm 64, verse 1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, man. So hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. So here it is. Trump was, talking about, how Obama was going to attack Iran. Now here it is. He's been given that order, so to say. Hey, move in on Iran. They failed in Syria. They failed in Venezuela. That failed coup attempt. Now, hey, the next stage is to invade Iran, man. All right. So it says, as tensions ratchet up between Washington and Tehran, the internet is taking a moment to appreciate the irony of some of President Donald Trump's old tweets warning that Barack Obama was stoking war on Iran to stay in office. Some of Trump's tweets from Obama's first term are coming back to haunt him again. And as the scriptures say, they shall make their tongue, fall upon themselves, man. All right. So this is what happened at the end. The end is speaking, man. All right, and America is getting ready to head into a war to end all wars, World War III. As the scriptures spoke of, man. All right, so this is the secret counsel of the wicked. It goes to show you this enterprise of the elites, man. The plan of the elites, man. They really think that they're gonna start this war, fund all sides of war, and then implement this chip and then come out and resurface like like nothing's gonna happen, man. All right, but the Lord is gonna bring all that to naught. I just wanted to.
I got a quick precept for you because, like you said, they wholeheartedly believe that their new world order, all right, is gonna actually be set up, and like you said, these things stirring up with Iran, which now you got a couple countries saying that that's just a bunch of bullshit. One of the generals, I believe, I don't know if he's a general. I know he's one of the top guys in the military of England or Britain. He said that all that rhetoric that America is spewing is a bunch of nonsense. He said that there's no evidence of what they're talking about. But here it is, America is sending warships over there to the Persian Gulf. They're sending I believe they sent 3 B-2 bombers. All right, because they this goes back to Albert Pike's plan. You know how they're gonna you know how they would set up World War III. I forgot exactly how he said it, but you know that along it was you know pretty much what's happening. So to back the brother up real quick, like the brother said that they think that they're gonna set up their whole new empire, so to say, or the new world order. This is Job chapter 5 verse 12. He disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. You know, go ahead, you got it.
No. Hey, beautiful. You know, because Isaiah 54:16, the scriptures say, that the Lord, create the smith that blow up the coals in the fire. And to back you up on what the dude said, it was like a whole, he's talking to a general, and he was pretty much saying that the guy's like, we're gonna go to war with Iraq. And he was like, why? What evidence, do we have? Like, he said, hey, that's just what they said. We're gonna go to war with Iraq, right? And then, we're gonna take down Lebanon. We're gonna take down Yemen. Then we're gonna take down Afghanistan. Then we're gonna go into Syria. And finally, we're gonna go into Iran. And then what he was saying was, which is scriptural, was right out of the scriptures. He was saying, we have a strong government and he said we have a strong government that can take down a strong military that can just take down governments. He said, so we are a hammer, and we treat every situation as a nail, right? If you're a hammer, you look at every situation as a nail. So that's right into the scriptures. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse. I'm gonna start at 4. It says, thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? And right now we can see that economically, man. All right, this trade war is going to pretty much be a downfall of America. All right, the financial system, because this was happening. China and America are at war. And America's at war down to everybody, but China and America are at war. All right, and they're attacking each other financially right now. So it's a financial war, economic war. All right,
trade wars.
Trade
wars.
Hey,
real quick, I was watching the news earlier, and they were interviewing one of the farmers out from the Midwest, and he was a Trump supporter, and he was like, "Look, Trump's an idiot. I wouldn't vote for him again because he's hurting my pockets because I have to go and buy things. As a farmer, I have to buy the things that he's putting tariffs on, and putting these steel, aluminum, all that is affecting. Really, it's affecting America more than anybody else. But and like the brother said, it's a trade, it's a war, financial war. So China's economy is getting hurt as well. But look, what Trump is doing, he's just setting himself up for the okie doke, really. So because all them tariffs, that's gonna hurt you at the store when you go buy a carton of eggs. All right, when it's $8 for a loaf of bread, all right, and a gallon of water is $52. Then people are gonna, it's gonna smack them in the face, like the brother said. I read earlier. All right, though, what's the Habakkuk 2? Hey, it's easy to laugh it off because right now you can get a meal for $1 at McDonald's, but when all that is out the window, it ain't gonna be too funny.
That's right.
Go ahead.
All right.
If I could just add real quick on top of that, you got India saying that they was waiting until basically after the elections to put like counter tariffs pretty much on America from that. So you see all this going on with all these other countries as well too. They pretty much tired of all this. Like the brother pretty much if he's still reading in Isaiah 14, it's gonna go into it how these other nations were getting mad.
That's
what a lot of these countries are doing. They're just waiting it out to see if Trump's gonna get reelected again.
Con, real quick, I want to bring out this here definition just in case somebody doesn't know what a tariff is. All right, because if you put it in its proper context, you already know this is wicked. It says tariff, a tax or duty to be paid on a particular class of imports or exports. So basically, they're just taxing everything, you know, just like the so-called Boston Tea Party and those things like that going on. You know, they taxing more and more goods. So all the goods that's coming into America, which America is a consumer nation, which 90% of everything is brought into this country. You know, like the brothers is going into, it's just you consumers who are going to want to pay the bigger cost. You know, yeah, it's going to hit the companies, but it's going to be a trickle down effect. You know, if the company got to pay more, you got to pay more. All right. But with these other nations putting all these tariffs on America and you know, burning bridges, hey, man, we got to sit there and bite the bullet over here, you know?
You know?
Hey, and real quick, if I may say this, because that's what's happening with the economy right now, you know, and these tariffs that Donald Trump is putting. Basically, what it's causing is not going to be you're not going to see a jump in prices and things like an exuberant amount of an increase. All right, it's not going to cause a famine. It's not going to cause an economic collapse. But what it's causing is a residual increase or a hyperinflation is slowly but surely is approaching, right, through these tariffs. All right, I just want to throw that in there.
Con.
And if I may add too, Slucky.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Quan. Go ahead.
All right, I just wanted to say through the spirit concerning Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter. That goes back to that, though it tarry, wait for it, you know.
Con.
You know, though it tarry, what? Though the tarry of destruction of America, which is Babylon the Great, though it tarry, wait for it, man. And the evidence is being shown, you know. The evidence is being shown, you know. So I just wanted to say that through the spirit, you know, back you brothers up. That's all.
Con. And just want to speak on what Mayam said, you know. Like he said, you know, it automatically, you know, it won't, you know, as soon as, you know, it happens, you know, the prices, everything just won't skyrocket up. Like he said, backing up what he said, a hyperinflation, because the 25% tariffs, well, really what that did was took off 25% of the buying power of the dollar. Now the dollar lost 25% of its purchasing power. All right, which is, you know, now you need more dollars, which is inflation, more dollars to purchase the same, you know, the same product, you know. So that's pretty much what it's doing. All right, he's devaluing the dollar when he ups those tariffs, man. All right, that's exactly what he's doing. All right, so, you know, and as the scriptures say, Isaiah 14:4, how hath the oppressor ceased, to go to city ceased. And, you know, that's another way how they have ceased, all right? Because how was the U.S. was able to have this, you know, this one up on all the other countries is by the buying power of the dollar, by the dollar, all right? So now, you know, like they say, your money is no good here, all right? That's the way this golden city is ceasing, man. You know, businesses are closing up. Payless, I think Payless said they're closing all their stores, all right? And you know, all that's Payless and Sears and all this stuff. They get all their stuff from China, man. Those cheap ass shoes, you know what I mean? Skechers and Shacks and shit. You know, they get all that shit made. All that shit is made in China, all right? And all the stores are closing down. You know, Walmart. You know, Walmart is the #1 retailer in the world, and majority of its products are from overseas, man. All right, it's a big retailer. So you're gonna really see the inflation get ready to set in and take place, and that's how this golden city is ceased, man. All right, and that's gonna lead to people rioting in the streets because as you know, the inflation increases, the prices go up. All right, the minimum wage is not changing. You know, they're not trying to help you out. You know,
Cost of living.
Cost of living, which is going into taxing. You know, Rome was known for taxing the hell out of his people, man. All right, in America,
and why? Real quick, they were having to tax more because the value, like you were saying, the value of that dollar was decreasing. You know. Yeah. And you know, going into that heavy tax. Look, here it is. You know, we getting taxed like crazy. Hey, and it was the beautiful part about it. I remember talking to Dawah about this. Majority of that money is going to Israel. All right. Yeah.
$10,000 what every minute is going to Israel in taxes.
Yeah,
man.
something like that.
You know, so they receiving billions of dollars in taxes, man. Goes to show you that's going back to that secret council of the wicked, man. These so-called Jews, that 1%. All right, and this is that
That
king of
usury.
Babylon. Exactly, man. This is that king of Babylon, man. These are the people right here who the scriptures are speaking about, man. They hiding right now, but they're watching us. We out in the forefront. We got our face out here, but them jokers are hiding behind closed doors, man. All right, bringing all this hell upon all these people, oppressing people, taxing people. You know, I'm reading the scripture. It says, the Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. All right, and
Hey,
then continue. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, hey, going into that continual stroke, you know, like with the condition of things going on here today, you know, how are they beating us with the continual stroke? Because, you know, the modern day whip, you know, like back in the days is basically paying bills. You know, you got to constantly keep going to work because why? They keep hitting you with these bills left and right, right? But then you also have what? The quality of everything going down. You got a lot of these Uber drivers nowadays when these people used to work in factories. So now you got to work 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 jobs just to replace the one job that you did have. All right. Now, before you used to live in a bigger house, now everybody's living either with their parents or in apartments. So now it's just more and more stress on everybody. Everybody's quality of life is diminishing here. So what you see more and more people stressed out, more and more people committing suicide because why? Their so-called way of life is diminishing and things like that. You know, people are getting this what they call liver cancer because they drinking more. Why? Because they stressed out from being hit with all these different strokes. You know, higher taxes, or I lost my job, unemployment. Now I'm underemployed. I'm not getting paid what I used to get paid, and you know, things like that. So people are constantly getting hit with these different either bills, taxes, things like that, to where they can't ever get so-called afloat. You know, they can't get up on their feet because they're constantly getting hit with these so-called penalties. You know, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. You know, this is how America is, man. They hit you with a tax here, a tax there. You got to go pay your phone bill. They hit you with a service charge, you know, or if you pay with a card, it's another service charge on that. Well, how about if I give you cash? It's another service charge on that, you know?
Yeah, and you know, it's like you know they'll try to make you fool bamboozle you by giving you an extra dollar, right? So that means you making an extra $30 a month before taxes, but then they'll raise your rent $100 or $200. So you know you really you know like the scriptures say, you just earning money to put it in a bag with holes, man. There's no winning in this wicked society, man, and it's because it's unrighteous, man. First of all, you're not even supposed to get taxed on your wages, you know, but they tax you on your food, your water, all right, your automobiles, and then they're gonna tax you before you even get your money, you know. So
And we're
and
not
then they
even eating
tax,
real food.
yep, everything
I
is
was,
taxed.
yeah, but I was saying, just look at the food. We're not even eating real food, you know? So we over here fighting over some fake food. Like, hey, man, that's that continual stroke, man. You got to worry about your food, your water, you know, the roof over your head, all kind of things, man.
If I may add, that goes back into the scripture that these curses shall overtake thee. You know, these curses overtake us, man. You know, we can't escape the curses, man. That's why it's good to say our righteous, even though we know this truth in these times, our righteous is filthy into the YAHAWASHI, man. You know, but what? Because of our faith, you know, showing towards we believe in His word. You know, that's what's honorable in the sight of YAHAWASHI, our faith towards His word and believing in it. Because everything else, once we step outside of these doors, we're subject to going off, bro. You know, once we step outside of these doors, bro, we subject to going off. Everything around us is off, man. You know, but what we believe that through YAHAWASHI because of the faith, all right, that we gonna inherit that covenant, man, through YAHAWASHI, you know, which is actually to live forever, man. You know, okay, to actually have life, man. You know, okay, to be at peace with YAHAWASHI, you know. You know, hey, just through the spirit, I just want to say that, you know, because that's what Jake going through. You know, Jake don't know what it is to live. We don't know what it is to live. We had a shadow. What we were talking about earlier through the video that Elder put up. We had a shadow of it, you know, during the time of Moses. You know, but we coming into the fruition, you know, of that kingdom, and through that, and that's through us. That's through us. This is the kingdom being built. Right. This is the third temple, man. Okay, being built right before you people's eyes, man. Right. Life is being presented unto you, man, as being gods on the planet Earth. When you read the scripture, say, "Ye are gods, and you shall die like men." You know, gods don't die. But now we understand that that balance. You know, we know what it is. We know what it. Come on, go ahead, Akia. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, hey, gods or kings, they don't pay taxes, you know. But here it is. Like the scriptures say that he has seen peasants upon horses and the princes upon walking on the ground. So this it's really it just Esau's wicked system. That got Jacob such in a low level, and that's why it's set up for that. To keep Jacob oppressed. But if you want to read that again, about Shaw, Kalakala, that scripture you had.
Isaiah 14 verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth.
That's right. Now the devil himself is starting to get persecuted, man. Everybody's starting to see the devil that he really is, man. His horns are being revealed. All right, because look, he ruled in anger. That continual stroke. It's not just on the Israelites, even though that's his main target. He puts it on everybody, man. His own people, the rest of the heathens, right? Because the 1%er, like the brother was saying earlier, they don't give two shits about nobody, man, except for themselves. That's why they keep their wealth amongst themselves, man. They don't give it to nobody else, man. They that shit gets passed down. But now that everybody's seeing that the devils that they are, that's why they're going heavy on the anti-Semitic garbage. Oh look, they're shooting up synagogues. They got a couple senators or whatever, congressmen. Getting they're getting flamed right now because they're supposedly talking anti-Semitic remarks. But everybody knows who the source of the problem is, and they're getting called out for it, man. They're getting persecuted for it now. And then now that's why they gotta they gotta play the victim like Esau always does. He gotta play the victim. All right, so everybody can show him sympathy or pity him. When here it is that he under his control and rulership, the earth is in the condition that it is. People starving to death. All right, but they got enough money to feed everybody in the world and still have money left over. Keep going on that, or is that it on that?
Yeah, and I want to speak on something you said. In the scripture say, "And none hindereth." All right. So as this thing taking place, nobody hindering him. Him from getting the destruction. Everybody want to see that happen to him. So say none hindereth, and to back you up, like you said about the elites. So now it's coming upon them, and it's really starting on these commoners, man. All right, these so-called white people that's walking amongst us, those are the ones that's suffering. The elites ain't suffering yet, because they still living good. They're pressing everybody else. But check this out. What's beautiful about it is that, all right, the commoners were the one afflicting Jake, whipping Jake's back, slicing the belly open, stepping on the kid's head, and all the wicked shit we was doing. Those were the commoners. The elites didn't have nothing to do with that. The elites just funded everything and benefited from it monetarily, man. All right? All the profit was going to the elites. They funded everything. But the actual deeds of us being whipped and being hung and lynched, them weren't elites down here doing that, man. Them was those commoners, your everyday average white folks walking up the street.
Yep. The peasants of Edom.
Yeah, exactly. The elites, man, they weren't down here getting dirty and going on the farms and no, man, those were the ones receiving the money. When you go to the marketplace and say, "Oh, I got a big buck for $500," all right, and then that money went to them. You know what I mean? They weren't taking the slaves home and whipping their backs and stuff. They benefited from it monetarily, man, because they funded the shit. All right.
Hey, and real quick, that's the same thing. That's the same thing they're doing now through these corporations, just like they did during the time of slavery. Like you were saying, they're not the ones whipping and telling them to go pick some cotton and They're not even the ones at the auctions. They're the ones funding it. They funded the slave ships. So people had to pay for those people. When they came off them ships, that money went to them, and then
Yeah.
so it's just trickling up to them. And now they're doing it through these businesses, through what your job. You working. You even though you got a taskmaster over you, that nigga he getting paid just like you. So ultimately, the CEOs and the presidents the owners, the real owners of the company, the shareholders. That's them. That's the same shit. That was they had shareholders of slave ships. That's the guys getting the money. I got a quick precept real quick. The brother AHBAD he quoted it on the comment board. This is Psalm 73 and 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. So like you said, they're not just some commoners, man. They're not worried about paying bills like Esau right now living on the streets. Man, I seen some bitch Edomite living in the Walmart parking lot, man. She had the car wide open, sitting on a lawn chair, man, just in the very back of Walmart. I was like, see, Esau's finished, man. His elites though, they chilling on an island sipping on Mai Tais, man.
Yep, you're right, brother. And I used to work at Walmart. You see, and I work the night shift, and you see motherfuckers sleeping in their car.
Yeah.
All right, car filled to the roof with clothes and pillows and shit, and they sleeping in their car running all night, man. All right. Now, I got an article right here. Now listen, this what's beautiful about this article. This was posted today, May 15th, 2019. Now listen, it says depression is increasing amongst Americans reaching middle age. It says the recent reversal in life expectancy in America has focused much attention on the deaths of despair of poorly educated middle-aged white men. All right. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, overall life expectancy fell for the second time in 3 years in 2017. All right. So these so-called white people are catching the hell. All right, and they're feeling it, man. Their life expectancy is decreasing. Okay, this is posted today. It says overall. You got something to say?
I was just gonna say earlier today I was listening to the news radio station, and they said that Florida is ranked number 4 in police suicides, man. And the majority of the cops out here, for the brothers that know, that live out here in Florida, that the majority of the cops are a bunch of Edomites, man. A bunch of redneck Edomites. But Florida ranks number 4 in the whole country as far as police suicides, man. So it's like the brother was just saying, man. It's showing that you Edomites are just losing in every aspect, man. You're becoming bums. All right, you're killing yourselves in the little money jobs. Because police don't really make that much, man. But then these motherfuckers are killing themselves, man. All right, because their kingdom is falling, man. They see that they're losing the power, and they're going nuts. All right, they're deciding to, because you get a lot of these Edomites that they see that the economy is crumbling. Well, really, Edomite society is crumbling, and they want to go out and live off the grid, man. They want to go out to the mountains. They want to try to get away from everything because they see that their economy is starting to crash. So they want to live. They want to try to do their own thing, Just wanted to add that on.
Hey, America is in foreclosure, man. All right, and
yeah, bankruptcy,
man, and is everybody fleeing and notice it, but Jake's still asleep, man. All right. It says,
hey, real quick, brother, if I could just kind of speak on what the brother was just saying, the same thing. That article you're reading, what are you saying about the birth? What is it? The birth rates or the life expectancy?
The life expectancy fell for the second time in 3 years in 2017.
So what they're not quite telling you about this here article, this is just their life expectancy, the ones that wind up dying or committing suicides and things like that. But you also have a flip side to that is also the what they call the reproductive rate. They have a 0% reproductive rate. So not only are they dying off, they also not having enough children to replace the ones that's dying off. So, and they also see the economy collapsing, the jobs, their women coming over. They see all these things. So this is why they starting to panic out. You see them committing these suicides. They drinking a lot more now. The Lord's really putting the spirit on them that they can see this end coming. They can feel something coming in the end. They can feel this judgment coming, more or less to say. This is why you're seeing them Hey man, alcohol's on a all-time high right now. You know, they selling alcohol like crazy right now, man. You notice more and more shops putting up more and more wine shelves and more alcohol shelves. They're selling more and more alcohol left and right now. You know, more and more people are dying of liver cancer and stuff like that, which those liver cancer deaths aren't really going to be recorded in the same type of article that this brother's bringing out. That's what I'm saying. Like when you do these types of reports like this, they have it so separated, so you really don't see how big the problem is. All right, they saying that they pretty much having like a this was a while back. They're saying it's pretty much like having a 9/11 crisis every 3 weeks here with the amount of deaths that they having. All right, so these numbers are really skewed. These numbers are way higher than what they're reporting it. All right, but go ahead, brother.
Con. All right. It says according to Center of Disease.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
According to the Center of Disease Control Prevention, overall life expectancy fell for the second time in 3 years in 2017, driven by a surge in opioid overdoses and suicide, at which whites are most at risk. You know,
Kind of. That's the number one consumer of opioids is Esau, man. We live in the pill mill of America. We see that shit every day. Niggas pill popping, going to work, you know, just strung out on some, you know, some opioids, man. And then after they get so hooked on it, eventually it just doesn't do anything for them. So they got to go to the hard drugs. They got to hit the heroin. You know, they got to get the morphine now. And then they just end up, you know, the wife comes home one day and he just laying there, you know, done, finished. So they're the now, but now it's an epidemic, you know, because Esau's on it.
Hey, but speaking of which, that's a beautiful thing because, you know, the scriptures say about Jacob and Esau, one gonna be stronger than the other one, right? You know, a lot of these people wind up getting hooked because they go to like the dentist, they get a tooth pulled, and they wind up giving them these synthetic heroin pills or whatnot, you know? But how come it is that Jake will go to the same doctor? He don't get, you know, same treatment. He don't get the pills, you know, but because these people are so weak, you know, they might have been out there gardening and, you know, pulled a muscle in their back or something like that, or their knees starting to hurt. So they go to these doctors for any and every reason. This hurt, that hurt, this hurt, that hurt. But now look, they are a whole bunch of addicts. You know, what's going on with Jake? Jake don't get hurt. Jake don't be hurting. Jake don't feel pain. How come you don't have Jake strung out like this, man?
And I seen that on the news this morning. You know, because I noticed this a lot when I was working at Advance, that Esau, man, for any little thing, they got a headache, you know, a little pain. If they ain't got no opioids, they ain't got no prescriptions. What do? They pop the what is it called? The not Tylenol, Advil or something like that. Yeah, it's like, I think it's one of those. And then they
Or
said that,
want to leave a day.
Yeah. It said that shit's leading to bleeding in the brain, man.
Yep.
So them people are finished.
Yeah, hey, you're right, bro. I know a friend personally. You know, he was taking like that over the counter Tylenol type shit, and he was taking that shit so much that it burned a hole in his belly.
Yep, ulcers, bro. That's why it tells you don't drink while you take ibuprofen or Advil, or don't take too much of it because it'll cause holes in your stomach.
Yes.
You know?
Jake said he was
Jake,
Oh, go ahead, Sluggy.
I was just gonna say, you know, Jake, back in the world, you know, being a nigga, I used to sell pills, so I know all the, you know, I used to do the research and shit like that, you know. So, you know, it that's one of the main symptoms when you take too many pills. You know, you get a lot of ulcers, you know. You get ulcers in your stomach, so motherfuckers be having to get their shit drained out, you know, because there's too much shit coming out of their stomach, you know. And the main ones that be going through that is Esau, man, you know. and you know, real quick, if I may say this, you know, back when Jake was going through this, you know, going through his struggles, you know, what would Jake do? Jake would smoke weed. Jake will shoot up some heroin. Jake would smoke some crack. But now you got these Edomites, they going through, because like I got the brother holding it up real quick, this Deuteronomy 30:7. Now,
hey, bro,
our people. Hey,
Mayam, that's the spirit. Go ahead, man. I was gonna bring it out. Go ahead, man.
I think we all holding that.
Hey, so you see, man, now that, because what Jake used to do, they used to do their own shit when they went through when they were going through their tough times, you know, going through the depression that happened during the 80s, you know, going through the late 2000s during the financial collapse. You know, Jake was the one guy who was going through those things. But now, guess what? Now the Lord is turning things around on you damn devils, you Edomites. All right, you so-called white people. The Lord is turning things on you. So now you people are the ones that are strung out, man. You're the ones popping the pills. You're the ones trying to take the Tylenols and trying to live for the triple C's out trying to steal them from Publix and the Targets, because you motherfuckers are trying to get you trying to get strung out. You trying to get away from reality, so to say. All right?
It's called escapism.
Exactly. See? Yeah, kind of exactly. Escapism, man. All right, and you people are trying to get away from it, but guess what? You're falling off at your own people's thing. All right, just like when we was the ones, when Jake was the ones getting strung out, we were getting high off of our people's own heroin. We were getting high off of our people's cocaine and crack. But now you Edomites, you're getting high off of the shit that your elites are giving you. Your own people is giving you, man. The pharmaceuticals. All right, so the curses are turning right back on you, damn devils, man.
And the elites is.
To get that.
The elites is bankrolling off of all those Edomites strung out, man. Because you know somebody got to pay for them pills, you know, whether it be your insurance or whether it's coming out of your pocket, somebody's paying for them.
Yep. If a brother got that precept, go ahead.
All right. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. It says, "And Yahawah bust me outside thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies."
So you see, all right, all those things that Jake went through, guess what? Now you damn devils got to go through it, man. You Edomites are going to go through it. And like the brother's been saying, it ain't going to be the elites that go through it, man. It's going to be you low-level scumbags, man. All right, you.
The two-thirds of Edom.
That go through it, man. Hey, exactly.
The 2/3 of Edom,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, because hey, there's gonna be a select that gets saved for the slavery. But the rest of y'all motherfuckers, y'all gonna have to get born into slavery, just like 2/3 of Israel are gonna get born into the kingdom, man. But hey, that's why you devils are not going through the things you're going through, man. That's why you have all these YouTube videos popping up of people giving testimonials, all right, of you damn devils, man. Talking about your family member that oh, you guys don't need to be doing these drugs, these pills are getting too much. Hey, where were the rehab centers when Jake was going through crack, man? All right, where were the rehab centers for crack? Where were the rehab centers for heroin? Nowhere to be seen. Why? Because the so-called white man was still ruling this society. Now that he's seeing his own people out here, he's still trying to give the 2/3 of Esau some hope, so he's got to set up some rehab centers, man. But guess what? You still going through the curses, man. All right?
Hey,
you're gonna
go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Just to finish out what I was gonna say, you 2/3 are getting ready to get some real help. All right, like the scripture said, you're gonna have to drink double the cup. All right, and you devil's gonna get it worse than what you're going through right now, man. That's all I wanted to say.
Hey, I got a quick precept, but I wanted to add on to what the brother was saying. It's like, yo, man, they didn't have no rehab centers back in the day when we was around like that for us, because they was the ones bringing in cocaine and heroin for our people, man. All right, they brought that in and put that upon our people, so they didn't have no intentions of healing or helping us. It's not like this whole heroin epidemic was like Jake decided to go over to Afghanistan and then go to over that country, steal all the opium, bring it back to America, set up our own hospitals and doctors and write prescriptions to these Edomites. No, that was all Esau who did that, you know. He destroyed a whole nother people just to do that, you know. Nevertheless, I'm gonna grab this here precept real quick, because going into you know, these curses that's fallen upon Esau, him using these drugs and things like that for his escapism. All right, I'm gonna read one of the curses that came upon us, that's showing these types of things, why our people go and have what they call escapism. You know, Monday through Friday we catching hell at the job, so on the weekends we go out to the clubs and the bars and stuff like that, drink and do drugs or whatever, whatnot, to escape the hell that we going throughout the week. All right, this is why you see on the weekends in the downtown areas they're so populated, because why? Everybody's escaping their hell, right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 28. In verse 20, Deuteronomy 28 and 29, 28, verse 28 and verse 29. It says, Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and with blindness and astonishment of the heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as a blind man gropeth in the darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt only be oppressed and spoil evermore, and no man shall save thee. All right. So these are the curses that fell upon us. But like the brothers was going into, these curses are falling upon Esau. So when you play this here out, if you could look at the Israelites. All right. This is why we go out to the clubs and the bars and things like that on the weekends. Not us, but you know, when you go out in the world, you see all the clubs and everything packed like that because we're going through our hell. You know, just like in the old days in Egypt. You know, the more we was oppressed, the more we started multiplying. This is why, you know, we also the sand to sea, but you see this going on in our neighborhoods now. You know, we always be stressed out there. I was like, man, let me just get a beer, man. Let me just get a beer. Let me get a drink. Let me get something, right? But now as the tables are turning, now you're starting to see this on these Edomites, but we just don't know how to react to it. We ain't never seen these Edomites strung out like this. This is a new thing in the earth. But now, hey, man, we got new junkies on the block, man.
Hey, well, you know, real quick, because you said this is the new thing on the earth. Really, it's not a new thing, but it's new to who is happening. You know, it's happening now to the Edomites, because now, just as this kingdom is being transitioned over to the Israelites, so are the curses being transitioned over to him. So, you know, just to go with that, you know, just to back that brother up, you know, it's don't you niggas out there, because you know you get niggas that look, they add to the word, you know, the brother, hey, it ain't that it's something new, but it's new to what's happening, you know.
All right.
Hey, because basically what's happening is Esau's contract is up. You know, his blessing's over. You know, so you know what Esau's wisdom is saving him. The excellency of the Chaldeans, you know, they're no longer being called tender and delicate. They're doing foolish things, you know, making dumb decisions, like brothers going to being strung out, you know, because again, bro, the contract's over. You know, the Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is to get in and follow it. You know, Esau, that's why he's gonna revert back to his natural nature. He's gonna revert back to his sword. He's gonna start cutting up people. You know, you see these school shooters. You just a middle school example of how Esau's gonna react once he knows that his time is up. You know, he's gonna go down swinging.
Hey, that's in Revelation, the devil coming down having straight wrath.
I got you, brother. I got it.
Because he can't do shit right. You know, he's failing. You know, he can't do nothing right. Everything he does is against him. You know, he's frustrated. What is he gonna do? He's like they say, he's gonna go out with a bang. That's exactly how Esau's gonna go.
And I got one after you, Damada.
Con, this is Revelation 12:12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time.
Con, exactly. You know, because again, the contract's up, and you know just how the Most High gave Esau, you know, his time to rule, his appointed time to rule. He has an ending. You know, but as you know, what's happening is Esau is remembering he sold his birthright. He's going and he's remembering that, you know, he's not the children of the Most High. You know, and what he's doing is, you know, he's making a fool out of himself. He's embarrassing himself. Again, you know, all these examples, these Catholic priests, you know, all type of manner every single day. You know, you used to go on World Star Hip Hop and see Jake acting the ass. You know, he still is. You know, but you see Esau on
videos of Esau.
Yeah, Esau's doing some stupid shit, running like a dog, jumping over tables.
Hey, yeah, who said that? I think who said that shit?
My young said that earlier.
Oh, my young said that shit? Bro, that chick, she literally was like, she been practicing running on all fours. Did you see the leap she did?
Like put her
she tucked her hands in, and her hands touched the ground before her back feet did. Like
she cleared that table.
Yeah, she cleared it.
It need to be in the Olympics.
Done. Hey, I got a quick precept real quick. This is going to the topic. You know, it's Esau's time is up. All right. This is Sirach. Matter of fact, I got two of them. This is Sirach 11 verse 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord. All right. So prosperity, life and death, poverty and riches, all that come from the Lord. All right. And right now the Lord is taking all that from Esau. He gave him riches. Now he's giving him poverty, man. All right.
He like the scriptures say that Esau turning the things upside down. You know, Esau was the base man. He became the top, and vice versa with Israel. Well, now the Lord's flipping it back right side up, man. Now Esau's, you know, he's in that transition back to the bottom, man. And now he went from riches to rags now, man. You know that story. They say from riches to rags. Well, that's the story of Esau, man. Here it is that he had the whole earth in the possession of his hands. But what? The way he ruled the earth was unprofitable, not only to the whole earth and the people, but unto himself, you know. So now the Lord, you know, the Lord used him as an example of how not to rule, you know, of how not to be. Because you hear this man destroys everything, including himself. he'll poison the same water he got to drink, the same air he got to breathe. You know, so that just goes to show you that it's all in the hands of the Lord, man. Read that again, Baba Kashaw.
All right, Sirach 11, verse 14. Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of the Lord.
Yeah, so prosperity and adversity. Now, because look, he was prospering for since the late 1400s. All right, getting all this wealth, you know, unrighteous. Oh, matter of fact, let me get that real quick, because the way he got his wealth. All right, this is Sirach 10 and Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another. So that's how Esau got his prosperity, his riches, through deceit, through injuries, through ill dealings, man. And so now the kingdom is being translated from Esau onto Israel or onto Jacob. All right. And it's in what did it say at the end, in the hands of the Lord or something?
Yeah, all it says it just says come of the Lord. So all of it comes from the Lord.
Yeah, hey, that's Sirach 10 and 4. You know, the power is in the hands of the Lord, and in due time he'll set up one that is profitable. You know, Esau is not a profitable ruler at all.
That's right.
Hey, I got another quick one to go at the topic.
Okay.
This is Job chapter 1, verse 20. Then Job arose and rent his mantle and shaved his head and fell down upon the ground and worshipped and said, naked came I out of my mother's womb, and naked shall I return thither. The Lord gave, and the Lord hath taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. You know?
So the Lord
giveth and he take away, man.
Right. Hey, the Lord, hey, like Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Right? The Lord gave it to the wicked, man. And guess what? Now he's gonna come and snatch it right back. There's the scriptures say that the saints shall take the kingdom by force. Guess who's gonna ordain that? It's gonna be the Lord that's gonna ordain it. It's gonna be through the power of YAHAWASHI that the saints take the kingdom, man. They're gonna take it from. It's not like gonna be you sell a car and you got to sign a title and it gets transferred. Yeah, the kingdom is gonna be transferred, but it's gonna be snatched away from this devil, man, and rightfully so, because like the brother said, there's somebody profitable's got to be set up to rule this earth, because we've seen what happens when somebody unprofitable rules the earth. You got nothing but chaos and commotion. You can walk down the street and not know if you're looking at a man or a woman. This is the level that we've gotten to under the rulership of this devil, man. Just straight confusion. And then the head of the tip of the spear, the head of Esau's kingdom being here in America, this is called Babylon. All right, confusion, Babal. You know, so this place is just got to go, man. This man is unfit to be a ruler, man. He can't govern himself. He can't govern his own household. You know, you got I remember growing up, seeing these kids at school, these Edomite kids, man, with a complete disrespect for their parents, man. Just telling them, fuck you, mom. Just Xbox gets taken away and they ready to kill their parents, man. So, Esau can't even rule his own household. How can he rule a whole earth, man? How can he rule a nation? You can see, look what's going on here in America, man. It's divided. The people, you got people saying this, and then the other people saying the opposite. There's no unity, so to say. A kingdom is supposed to be united, because like YAHAWASHI said, a kingdom divided cannot stand. The kingdom of heaven is going to be perfect, man. That ain't going to be no Israelites thinking contrary to what YAHAWASHI is going to set up. And that's why it's got to be taken from Esau, man. It's got to be, like you got to, Most High is going to pull the carpet from right under him, man. He's going to fall flat on his face where he belongs. Go ahead.
The brother got a precept here.
This is Second Esdras chapter 6, start at verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? And when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
And as we brought out Habakkuk, the second chapter, that though it tarry, wait for it, because it shall surely come, it shall not tarry, man. And it's speaking. All right. So what shall be the end of these times, man? All right. We all, like when that thing came out about the Mortal Kombat, when the way Jax, the character, All right, the Edomite chick said, she said, if the so-called, if the Negroes were in a higher class, then there have to be a lower class. So she knew, like, okay, if they in a ruling class, then there has to be a lower class. That's just the way it works. If somebody's in a ruling class, then you got to have a lower class. All right, you got to have a foundation. So, hey, we see the end. All right, who set this kingdom up? All right, the so-called white man. So what shall be the signs of those times, man? All right, and we can see. Go ahead.
Kind of real quick, YAHAWASHI told us, of the signs that would be happening, and what this brother's reading about, the YAHAWASHI told us what would be happening. All right, and now you see the same devil that put us in slavery, whipped us, slaughtered our families, took our land. It's the same devils that can't do a damn thing now with the prophets of the Lord out there, telling them that their kingdom is finished, man. They can't do a damn thing about it. So that's a clear, evident sign that their kingdom is coming to a close, man. All right, the curtain is about to be closed. And the Lord gave us the measuring stick, which is the prophecies, man, that are coming to pass, though they tarry. Go ahead.
Hey, I got a quick one to add to that. I'm gonna read 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the top diligently in itself, and when thou shalt see part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. All right, it says, let me jump down to verse read 4 and 5. Then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like all that is made in the world hath the beginning and the end is manifest. So like the brothers is going into, the scriptures go into, it says measure the time diligently. All right. Also in like the book of Matthew, the book of Luke, they tell you about the signs, all over the scriptures, the prophecy tells us about the signs of the times in the end. All right. So what, we can measure the time diligently, everything has a beginning and the end is made manifest, just like you might not be able to see the moment in time when you get your old lady pregnant, but the time when that baby is about to come out is made manifest. You might not see the transition of the sperm entering the egg, but when the woman water break and she's going into labor, you already know it's made manifest. As soon as that water break, you already know what time it is, just like anything else, sometimes you don't understand, when you starting off in a race or whatnot, how far the finish line is. But once you get to the end of the race, it's made manifest. You see the people cheering, you see the finish line thing and everything like that. But at the beginning of the race, you don't quite see the finish line,
Okay. Yep. And that's what brother, like the brother's reading. That's what the angel was telling Ezra. Ezra. He asked what should be the part in the sunder of time, meaning how what are pretty much what is gonna, how are we gonna know the end times, so to say, the end of the world, like the disciples Yahushua, what's gonna be the end of the world, not meaning the earth is just gonna explode and be oblivion. They talking about this rulership, this kingdom. So go ahead and read that again, Baba Shaw. Makala.
The previous precept 7 or continue reading.
Oh yeah, read 7 again.
All right, come. So 2 Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth?
Kind of the end of the first being this wicked, sinful kingdom, man. This rulership of the Edomites, man. Or really of the whole the wickedness, man. Because you've had all these nations rule in wickedness, though, and oppress the Israelites. So this is all, this has all been a wicked ass story, and then it's gonna come to an end with Esau being the most wicked ruler and the last ruler, and then Jacob, of course, is gonna be the beginning thereof, because it's gonna be the beginning of the beginning of forever, right? Because you know how they Disney like to make those fairy tale movies. What they always do at the end of the movie, they'll go through all that bull crap, and then at the end it just says they live happily ever after, man. That's the story of Jacob, man. That's the story of Israel's kingdom. It's not, it don't need to be written. The scripture tells you about the kingdom and how it's going to come, and but it doesn't go into details of exactly how it's going to be, because that's why the scripture say, "I have not seen, ear have not heard," because it's going to be that that happily ever after, man. It don't need to be wrote about. It's going to be forever. We're going to live it. and that's going to be the beginning. The beginning of the of forever. Go ahead.
The second Edge, chapter 6, verse 8. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Kind. And as you can see, Ezra here is quoting history, man. All right, as it is written, going back to Genesis. Okay, he's quoting history. So hey, they go to show you, hey, the prophets, hey, they knew about the prior books prior to them. They knew about the history of Israel. Okay, and in order to understand what's happening now, you got to know the history. You got to know what happened in the beginning. All right,
Yep.
And that's how, and through the scriptures say, we write unto you to stir up your pure minds by the way of remembrance, man. All right. So that's how we're able to distinguish what's happening now, to know what's about to take place, to know good and evil, and that's how we're able to identify the so-called white man and who he is. We had to know the beginning. All right.
Hey, Jay got a saying: you got to know where you come from to know where you're going. So you got to know. The apostles stress that a lot, man. You got to know history to get this to really understand the scriptures. You got to know history, man, because you could read till your face turns blue, but if you can't correlate it with secular history, then you don't know what the hell is going on, man. You just regurgitating what you've heard. So you gotta know the history, man. Just like the prophets, man, they would always quote things that happened in the past. They would always quote, like look at Stephen, man. He got stoned to death because he went into that history on them, man. They weren't having it. So it's important. Like the brothers reading, it said Jacob took hold of Esau's heel, man. That goes back to the book of Genesis, at the beginning. All right, and look, it was from the beginning, and then look, it's gonna be the end as well, man. Because that was when they were born, it was symbolic of the end of the kingdom, of the first kingdom, the end of the first world. That was symbolic how they came out, man. Go ahead.
To the second Edge, verse 6 and verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
That's right. Esau is the end of the world. So you can't, you can go up to some random person on the street and ask them, do you think we're living in the end? And they're most likely going to say yes. All right. So by default, by process of elimination, who's Esau? Esau's the so-called white man that's ruling, because Esau is the end of the world. And it was prophesied that he would be ruling, man. That he would be ruling at the end when YAHAWASHI comes and takes those crowns, man. Takes all the crowns of the kings of the earth. Go ahead.
The second Edge, chapter 6 and verse 10. The hand of man is betwixt the heel and the hand.
I think that was it on that.
Yeah.
You got some more on that?
Yeah, that was it.
I'll just say basically what we're witnessing is a fall of a great kingdom. Just like every kingdom had its appointed time of their reign and fall, so this place so-called America does. So just like ancient Egypt, just like the Assyrian Empire, the Neo-Babylonian Empire, the Persians, and all the way down. This place America had its time to reign, and now it's getting ready to fall. That's like the brother said, it's on foreclosure. They're boarding up the windows and doors. What I've noticed a lot more is these Marines and Army billboard and stuff. Because that's what the direction this nation is heading into. Because it has no other options to do besides fight. And sending out people to war to bid these elites plans. But to none avail, because the kingdom of heaven is getting ready to be established here on the earth.
That's right. It's a blowout cell, man. Everything's it's a closing cell. They know they're going down. That's why they're doing the things that they do. Damn, I had a thought, but it's all good. Anybody got anything else?
I'm gonna jump down. If anybody got something? All right,
go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna jump down. Verse 22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown." Going back into Matthew's 24th chapter. All right, as the scriptures say, hey, one stone shall not be shall not be thrown down. Nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. wars and rumors of wars, pestilence in diverse places. Yo, the sown places are appearing unsown, man. All right, this place is in shambles. All right, this place is completely out of order, and all because the earth been given to the hand of the wicked. All because who's in charge of the earth right now, man. All right. So it says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. All right. And the trumpet shall give a sound. And what's the trumpet giving a sound? It tell you that. All right. Shall it be evil in the city? Shall it be trumpet blown in the city? All right. And the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city? The Lord have not done it. The trumpet, all right, the heralds, as the elder Yashua was going into earlier today, man. All right.
Hey, real quick, brother. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I just want to. I'll finish this thought real quick. You can have it. And you know, as we you know, trumpet. You know, the trumpet of the Most High pushing out this word. All right. The scripture say we have piped unto you, but they have not lamented. All right. So that horn is that trumpet is being blown. And you know what it kind of reminds me of? You know how when an alarm go off on a car, or the fire alarm, or that signal go on the radio or on your TV, and it's just doo, doo, and they saying it's just a test. Well, we've heard that so many times. We heard a car alarm go off so many times to the point where you don't get up and go look to see what car it is. You just think, okay, automatically somebody's gonna press the button and cut their car off. All right.
Desensitized.
Yeah, exactly. Desensitized. Or when you hear that siren, you just this. You know, a fire alarm can go off right now. People would just be sitting there like, it's not. There's gonna come a time where it's gonna actually be a fire, man. All right. So this is us coming out blowing that trumpet, and these people are just walking around looking like we just your average fire alarm, or we just your average a car alarm going off, and they're not taking heed to it. Okay. Go ahead, Dawada.
Yeah, I want to bring out two precepts on two things that you were just saying. One touching on the trumpets real quick, and the other one about the sown places being unsown. So this is Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 14 and 15. It says, they have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none goeth to battle. All right, talking about being desensitized to that their alarm. Ain't nobody getting up. Like we go on the highways and the byways, we piping, but our people not dancing. It says they have blown the trumpet. Also Ezekiel 3 talking about I've set thee up to be a watchman unto the children of Israel. Give them a warning from me. Right. It says they have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but none goeth to the battle. For my wrath is upon all the multitude. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, and he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. All right. So, hey, that's where we at right now, man. We letting you know what's going on, what's coming to pass, but you don't want to take heed to it. You hear that alarm going off, but you don't want to, you don't want to take heed and take warning to it. So guess what? When the real fire alarm go off, when there's really a fire, you're going to want to burn it down in the house. All right. This is Malachi 4 or Malachi 1 and 4 talking about those sown places. All right. This is whereas Edom says we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, the people of whom Yahweh have indignation forever. So, they're going to come back and they're going to try to build back up and get their things going on. But what? The Lord is about to start taking these things apart. For the longest time, we've been seeing, Esau having all his places sewn together. We've seen his military been on top, everything financial, everything has been on point with Esau for so long. But now all these things are starting to crumble. His infrastructure is starting to crumble, financial system, his military, everything's starting to crumble. So look what? Esau started building back up. He came back up into his power seat. But guess what? The Lord is preparing the battle for his downfall. All right. That's all I had to say with that.
Go ahead, but you got more on that?
A little bit. It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. All right. And who really listening? Who really being moved by the fear, man? All right. The men of the Lord. Brothers been bringing that out lately. These people talking about they love the Lord. Hey, man, do you fear? What about the fear of the Lord, man? All right. Reading on, it says, and at that time shall friends fight against another like enemies. The love of many shall wax cold. When all these sown places begin to be unsown, like right now, you know, your boy, he's your friend, or your girl, she's your girl, you know, because, you know, technically everything's still in order right now. You know, utter chaos hasn't broken off. But when those stone places begin to be unsown, when those storehouses begin to be empty, okay, at that time shall friends fight against another like enemies. That's what's going to happen. Okay, that's going to be the cause and effect of those things taking place. It says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. All right? Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. All right? And that's what we're waiting to see. The scripture say, blessed is he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. Okay? We're waiting to see the end of this rulership, the end of this age, man. The end of this cosmos, this current government. All right? It says, and the men that are received shall see it, who have not tasted death from their birth, and the heart of the inhabitants shall be changed and turned into another meaning. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared. All right? So that's, you know, that's the time we coming into, man.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah. The end of their world.
Yeah.
And the end of corruption, you know. There ain't gonna be none of all this wickedness that you see out here, man. A lot of really pretty much everything you see, it ain't gonna be in the kingdom of heaven, man. All this stupid shit, you know. That's really what it is, just useless shit that keep you occupied and just bug the hell out, you know. You keep you oblivious from reality. Yeah. But if anybody got anything else, if not, we'll go ahead and close out.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
No, we're good. We're good.
Yeah. All right. With that, you know, we give all praise and glory unto Yahawah. Double honors to the elder apostles, great millstone, and citation. Much love to Yakim out there pushing out his word, true sincerity. Shalom.
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 Yes.